just one smart decision.
You don't have to say that again because we were not live.
Oh, we weren't? Well,
No.
you got, okay. We live now?
Yeah, we live.
Okay. So it was just one smart decision.
That's right. We made the decision, went to bed, and
And in the morning, we were 3 times richer.
that's right. And it can be the same for you too. I mean, we've been hearing from you, right? We've been hearing your frustration, feeling like you're never going to be able to retire. We used to feel the same way, y'all, until we applied this simple principle.
And today we're going to break it all the way down.
That's right. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves. Hey, y'all. My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan. We help you get your money straight so you can retire on time or maybe even early.
And abroad ain't bad either.
Abroad's not bad. All right, sweetheart. So
what
are we? Wait. Before we get into that, I want to give out a shout out to our channel members.
Hey, channel members, Utopian,
right?
And legends.
That's right. So all of the members, well, not all, some of the members, a few of the members got together with us before we went live behind the scenes. Hello to you.
Hey,
shout out, right? And have you signed up? If you're a Black woman, have you signed up for the Job Liberation Summit? Okay. Information is in the description below. If you want to become a channel member and hang out with us behind the scenes and chitty chat with us an hour before we go live. If you're at the legend level, you can come on also on air with us.
We love to have
That's
you.
Right. All right. So, sweetie, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about how to triple your retirement savings overnight. Today, we're going to show you why saving more is too slow for late bloomers, and what your freedom number actually is, and how you can use our free toolkit.
That's right.
To calculate it.
That's right. Our free toolkit.
Freedom free toolkit. How about that?
That's right. Well, all right, y'all. If you're watching from the future, hey. I hope the future is better. All right. Drop it in the chat. This is what I want to know. If you had to retire today, would your money last 10 years? Yes or no, or not sure? And then the second question is, what city are you currently in? What city are you currently in? Inquiring minds want to know. If you're watching from the future, let us know in the comments, right? But first, if you're new to our channel, you might not know. Back in 2018, y'all, we were getting close to retirement age, and Rick and I look at our financial bank accounts, y'all. It looked cray-cray.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, but we got our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth, y'all. If we can do that, you can do it too, right? So if any of that sounds interesting to you, what do we need you to do? We need you to subscribe. We know that about 50% of you are lurking around. Y'all be lurking around, right?
Time to take that plunge.
That's right. Don't be afraid of commitment.
No.
Let us know that you are here. Hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time that we go live, and give us a thumbs up so that YouTube knows to send this information to everybody who looks like us, who is a free thinker, right, y'all? All right. I see Houston. I see Columbia. I see not sure with the money. Okay. Tonight, we are going to know by the end of it's today for you all. It's 8:30 here, y'all. We are going to know. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Now, you guys know the drill. What do you need to do? First, you need to subscribe. And then you need to put a Q in front of your question or comment if you would like us. Is this it? Yes, if you would like us to put it up on screen. Okay, so let's see who is in the chat today. We've got Maria Richardson here very early to grab a seat up front. I love it. Monique Joyner, that's a new name. Welcome, Dr. James. Good to see you. Allison is in the house.
Hey, Bobby.
We got, so our members. That's the Sankofa bird next to our members' names. Now, what I have up here, because we're using a third-party app called StreamYard, so it's not going to show it. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Gwen and Derek is in the house. Venus, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you in the chat. Dr. Sanji's in the chat. We've got Dita Me. We've got A Better Life and CK. We were all chitty-chatting before we went live, giving each other good information on money and politics and SIM cards and everything in between. Hey, Karen Louise. Greetings. Good to see you in a live. Shanora is in the house. D34. Hello, Paula Washington. We've got Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
We've got Marguerite is in the house. Hey, good to see you. Cheryl's in the house. Tina. We've got Wanda and Bob, Pacific Northwest. Sarah, Valerina. All right, family. We love you. We love you. Say hello. If you are just now coming in, say hello. That's what we do around here. Okay.
And Mr. Ross, Mr. Demetrius Ross.
We see Demetrius. We see Benita. We see Wink and Professor House Sitting. We see LaRonda. All right, y'all. We are going to get started. Say hello. If you're just now coming in, say hello. Okay. Let's talk about the problem.
What the problem, yeah.
So, so what the problem is, time. Okay.
That's the real enemy.
Right.
It's time.
Okay. If you're watching us and you're younger, I'm so glad you found us, because you're going to have a lot more together when you're our age than we do and did. Okay. Time is our enemy right now for those of us who are 50 plus. Okay, time is our enemy. And even those 40 plus, because we got the titty baby melon fella in office, right? And he's doing what he's doing, which is stupid, right? The natives are restless, right? They've been bombing CEOs houses with Molotov cocktails and stuff.
Burning down the house.
Burning down warehouses and stuff, saying all you had to do is just pay me a living wage. Just pay us a living wage. That's all you had to do is pay us a living wage. Look, y'all. Stuff is getting cray-cray. And I know a lot of you are feeling really, really anxious and saying, okay, I just got to hold on. I just got to hold on. I just got to hold on for another year. And then I'm out of here. Right? Right? Is that what you're saying? We might have something for you. We might have something for you, right? Because we know AI is going to be taking folks' job any old way. And the thing about it is, it's like if you're at a certain age,
most people 45 plus don't have 30 more years, to work the compound interest thing. So.
Right. So, if you're in Beyond the Bling, if you're in our financial freedom program, then you already know what the key is to building wealth over time, right? And so any money that is in the stock market, that's money that should be needed 10 years out. Any money that you're putting in today is for future you, is for you 10 years from now. Okay. That's who you're investing in. So we used to say 3 to 5 years, but again, the melon felon is melon felon.
Yeah, times are no longer the way they used to be.
Exactly. Right. And so traditional advice assumes you do not have time, right? You don't have time. This is why the system feels like it's failing. This is why you feel hopeless, right? This is why it seems like when you're looking at the money, it's like, damn, it hasn't grown. Damn, it hasn't grown. Damn, it hasn't grown. I get it. We get it.
And people look for quick fixes on things, and they invest in things that they really don't understand and know about.
Exactly.
And it becomes not investing, but gambling.
Gambling, right? So if you want to know about real investing, if that is your thing that is missing from your income streams, really understanding investing, there's a couple of things that we're going to do. I'm thinking that we're going to have a quick investing 101 weekend. Okay. So look out for that. That's number one. Number two, if you want long-term learning, that's Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program, but you can start with the Ready to Retire Toolkit, which is in the description below. All right. Now here we go. The breakthrough. How do you triple your savings overnight, right? Because tripling your savings is not about savings, right?
No.
It's not about savings. Here's the thing. If you move to a place that is 2/3 less expensive than the place that you live at now, and you are planning to retire where you live at now, you just gained, right? You've just tripled your savings. By making the decision to move to a place that's 2/3 less expensive, you have just tripled your savings. So if you were trying to live off of $100,000 and you said $100,000 was going to last you 3 years, now $100,000 lasts you 9 years. And I think at 9 years, you can figure out how to get another $100,000. So that is the secret. And it seems like, well, Lisa, we knew that. Rick, we knew that. Is that what they say?
Some might, but there's a lot that don't.
Yeah, there's a lot that
There's a
don't.
lot that don't.
Because here's the thing, you guys, when we start thinking about, okay, I think I can retire at 65 because then I'll have Medicare and yada, yada, yada. And then I will have, Social Security. I can go ahead and take it at 65. I don't need to wait till 67, all of that stuff, right? But by that time, how much time will you have wasted? Right? How much more expensive will things be? Because now, if you're going to move and get private insurance, you're getting private insurance at 65 instead of 58 or 60. And it's going to be more expensive.
Right.
Right? It's going to even be more expensive than it would have been like if you started at 57 or 58 and stayed on their insurance and through 65, 66, 67 years old, right? They're going to start you lower, and it's always going to be lower because they will have had you, right? So I remember the moment that we made the decision. We were looking at the money and you kept saying, we don't have enough. We don't have enough. And I said, look, if we stay in budget and move to a place that costs this amount of money, we will not run out of money for like a decade. And I think we can figure it out from there.
From that point, right. Which made a lot of sense. But it took and it takes a mind change. You have to have a completely way of thinking about things.
Exactly. Because you had an aha moment. I had an aha moment too when I realized it, you all. Because see, they're saying you need 6 figures just to deal with future medical, right? That's what conventional wisdom says. You need 6 figures just to think about, just to cover your medical expenses. That's staying in the United States. That's staying in the United States.
True.
If you don't stay in the United States, you don't necessarily need 6 figures. As a matter of fact, we paid more in taxes last year than it cost for him to have knee surgery.
This is true.
I dropped my computer yesterday. So if you're waiting for stuff, I've been like a day without a computer. So we got a new computer. The computer cost more than his knee surgery.
Then I had to pay for my knee surgery. I put it
for the portion that we had to pay. Right? In the United States, unless you're getting some super duper computer, that your average laptop ain't gonna cost more than some knee surgery, even your portion, even with employee-based insurance, right? And so it was an aha moment when I said, I remember when we were on air and I said, we cracked the code. And they said, you cracked the code. I said, we cracked the code. And they said, well, what is the code? Because it seems like because we don't know our number, because we don't know our freedom number, and we're going to talk about that, we just keep working and working and working and working and working towards some number because we don't know what the number is supposed to be, because we've never done the math, because we didn't know the formula, because we didn't know there was a formula. And I'm going to tell you, America ain't gonna tell you there's a formula, because their whole plan is for you to work until you die. You saw at the Amazon warehouse, y'all saw that. The person dropped dead in the warehouse and they were told to just ignore that human being and work around them. What kind of bullshit? We can no longer participate in this system, y'all. Not like this. Not when they have us by the you know what's, right? No, 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 no. They're gonna step over you to make sure that Karen gets her, multivitamin same day, that she gets her, flops or whatever the same day. Are you friggin' kidding me right now? All right. So we need to change the way we're thinking. Okay. What are you guys talking about? Let's see where we're at. Oh, wow. Okay. So, hey, if you are just now joining us, what we are talking about is how you triple your retirement savings overnight. And as we just said, the answer is very simple. You move to a place that is 2/3 cheaper. You move to a place that's 2/3 cheaper. And I'm going to tell you, hello, Kimmy, Maria, Pearl. I'm going to tell you, I exhaled after I figured that out. We exhaled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And then you add house sitting on top of that so you can vacation for cheaper. And it's like, you know what? We are not working 2, 3, 4 more years to save, because we saved almost 6 figures. Well, I was going to say we saved more than 6 figures during COVID. And I would say, I was about to say within a year, but it was a little bit over a year. Okay. So I know we could have saved more. We were saving 65% of our income, 65%. And the reason why it was 6 figures is because it was growing as we were saving, because we were investing it. We were not just putting it in a savings account at 0.001%. We were investing it. Okay. And so everything that we learned, or the strategy that we learned, to turn things around more quickly. We're giving you the basics in the Ready to Retire, brand new, all revised, Ready to Retire toolkit. So if you've gotten it before, but you're still on this journey, go ahead and it's free. Go ahead and download the new Ready to Retire toolkit. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I see a lot of hellos. We're in our go-go years. Exactly, Allison. Right. I want to go and get gone. See, and that's the thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, it's time to make moves. Lose your fears and put yourself in a place where your cost of living is affordable again.
Right. Choose a place where you can live the life that you want to live. Okay. No place is perfect, but I'm telling you, I would say 9 out of 10. So 90% of the places that we have visited, we would prefer over living in any place in the United States. Any place in the United States. We are treated better at 90% of the places that we've traveled to so far than I've ever been. I must speak for myself, than I've ever been treated in the United States on a consistent basis. For real, though. For real. And we become so numb to it that we really don't even realize. That's number one. Number two, oh my God, life goes so fast. We were just talking about this behind the scenes. Time is not as long as it has been, y'all. So the one thing is that this is the healthiest you're probably ever going to be. Probably. All depends, but you know what I'm saying, right? Go-go years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The world is changing in a way that's going to put some places off limits because they're going to be too dangerous to go to, right? And so, yeah, y'all, don't be hesitating.
No.
Don't be hesitating. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. And even today, with things going up, and Portugal, being on the top, in the top 5 places to retire to for the last decade, it is still 2/3 cheaper to live here than in LA, and and about 50% cheaper to live here than in Denver. Okay. A friend had knee surgery. It was thousands of dollars. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Somebody was saying that they were in the hospital for a few days, and it was like $25,000. $25,000. That was more than my first 3 cars.
Yeah.
Do you think that a good percentage of expats will leave Portugal when their NHR status of 10 years expires? No, not necessarily. I think, by then you learn the system, you learn what you can write off, and this is that and the other, because if you want, okay, let's assume that Putin stays put and that it doesn't get crazier, right? And if you want to stay in Western Europe, you're going to be paying those taxes.
Yeah.
You're going to be paying those taxes.
Yeah, you
are. But here's the thing, guys, because we paid taxes for the first time last year. And I have to say that for what you get for your taxes, it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. And of course, we are on NHR, but we're not on 0% NHR. So, and then the other thing is they do have progressive tax system here, just like they do in the States, in that the more you make, the more you're taxed. But you can write stuff off, and this is that and the other. So don't let taxes stand in the way of something. Get the information first. Talk to professionals first. Make sure that you're, turning over every stone. Okay. But if you want Western Europe, you go to France, they have high taxes. Spain has high taxes. Germany has high taxes. Mm-hmm. Britain has high taxes, right? They all have high taxes, and they all have universal health care too. So, and long, maternity leaves and stuff like that. So, Tashika says Oracle just laid off about 20% of its workforce. These oligarchs, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I do not know what they're thinking. What places are 2/3 less expensive than the US that are not Asia, Africa, Eastern Europe, or Central South America? Jay!
You just talked about the rest of the world.
Well, let's see.
So the only place, wait, it's not. So I it depends on where you live. Like I just told you that you might have asked this before I said what I said, but yeah, Lisbon is 2/3 cheaper than LA. But yes, okay. So we rent out our condo in LA. It's a 1-bedroom condo, and we rent it out for basically $2,600 per month for a 1-bedroom. And here that's going to be 3 bedrooms, $2,600. That's going to be 3 bedrooms. So, and 2 baths and all of that stuff, right? And a garage and storage and all that.
You probably get a water view.
You could get a water view, definitely have an elevator, right? And all of that stuff. So yeah, LA. But if you live in Canton, Ohio, right? Then if I lived in Canton, Ohio, and I wanted to move to a place that was 2/3 cheaper in Western Europe, I would just not be able to move to a major city. Okay. Europe is not that expensive, you guys. It's just not. I know it's expensive to get here. It's expensive to stay in the hotels in Paris and stuff like that. But if you're looking at a smaller place like Lyon, France, or something like that, or Sevilla, Spain, you can find inexpensive or even here in Portugal, if you're interested in moving to Coimbra or Óbidos,
Overdose.
right? Or Óbidos is on the Silver Coast, or Aveiro,
Yeah, Evra.
or Évora down south in the wine country, or Aveiro, which is just underneath Porto, places like that, right? The suburbs. You can live if you were from Canton, Ohio, moving to like Évora or an Aveiro, maybe even Coimbra would be 2/3 cheaper. Okay. So yeah, it sounds like you're only interested in Western Europe, Jay. It's a big world out there. So I hope you are mentioning all these places because you've got based upon our Move Abroad toolkit, right? That information is in the description below, that you have gotten your needs and wants list, right? And based upon your objective list of needs and wants, you've visited places in Asia, you've visited places on the continent of Africa, you've visited places in Eastern Europe, and you visited places in Central and South America. And none of those places, no city in any country of those continents meets your needs. Is that what you're saying, baby? Is that what you're saying? Because if you haven't visited, you might be surprised. You might be surprised. It's really, really easy for we Americans to look at what the propaganda calls third world countries and assume that we know the quality of life. So I want to hear, Jay, I want to hear from you. Which places, name me 2 places on your list that you've been to and you're like, oh, hell no. And not only will I not live there, I don't even want to go back to visit.
I wouldn't send an enemy there.
Right? Exactly. Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned a lot of continents. Okay, did we get? Okay, so we answered that. I said we wanted to keep this tight. And here we go. Okay, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving, folks.
So go ahead.
Okay. South America has significant taxes too in many countries that are akin to EU taxes. Yeah. So, look, there are legal, creative ways to minimize your tax exposure. Okay. Just know that. And then that's number 1. Number 2, look at what your taxes buy, and then compare that to what you would have to pay to replace that benefit in another place that may have lower taxes. Okay. So, it would be goofy just to look at the tax rate and go, oh, no, and not take into account, for instance, that, our medical bills are a lot lower. Well, there's no comparison to what they would be in the United States, y'all. No comparison. No comparison. Okay. So again, geo arbitrage is the great multiplier. That's the great multiplier. It's not theory. This is real math.
Real numbers.
MAF, math. Real math, y'all. Seriously. Because do you have your phone?
I do.
Okay. I want your our number, had we stayed in Denver. How do I get to how come it's not coming up? There we go. Okay, there we go. Had we stayed in Denver, we would have had to come up with a minimum of $4,166 per month. Okay. Our basics here are under $2,000. So rent, utilities, food, grocery store food, not necessarily, any restaurants and stuff. But yeah, right? That includes insurance, that includes our cell phones, transportation, all of that under 2,000. So you see what's possible. These are the real numbers. All right. These are the real numbers. All right. So, all right. I want you guys to listen to this because we did some comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We put the same information in there. And I want to say it was for one person, 1-bedroom apartment, city center. I think that's the comparison that I did, if I remember correctly. And then we compared Atlanta to Mexico City and to Lisbon. Here are the numbers.
Atlanta is $4,200 a month. Mexico City is $1,900.
And Lisbon, $2,700 a month. $4,200 a month in Atlanta, $1,900 a month in Mexico City, $2,700 a month in Lisbon. Okay. Now, you might say, there's no way you're going to live in Atlanta for $4,200 a month. Okay. It's the same database. So if you have to raise it by 20% for all of these places, raise it 20%, but it's going to be raised for 20% for all the places, right? Like, so the ratio is going to stay the same. You see what I mean? You see how you triple your money. You triple your money by getting the hell out of Dodge, right? You want to find a place where you can have the same quality of life.
Same or better.
Or better, right? Because like, you know, I'm a California girl, born and raised in Southern California. And I didn't realize how much I missed the water living in Colorado until we moved here to Lisbon. And the fact that we are literally a 15 to 20-minute walk from the water, better quality of life. The fact that we can sit in the park in our neighborhood, which supposedly is an upper middle class neighborhood. We can sit in the park and play Candy Crush or whatever stupid game on our phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
All day long. And no one will come up to us and ask us, do we belong? What are we doing here? Where do you live? Unless they're like, oh, hey, we didn't know you lived over here, unless it was one of those conversations, right? But it's certainly not going to be, you know, so you two have been sitting here for a while. You know, I don't think you belong here. You know, all that Karen type energy nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
No. The other thing about the quality of life, and these are the little intangibles that, you know, I don't know how you measure. So where we live, there's a park in the middle of the Plaza Street. It's like a big U street, and there's a park in the middle. And across the way is a cafe. On the corner is a fruitaria. And if we pass by either of those places and the people who own them are outside or see us, they're going to wave.
And speak.
Right? They're going to wave. It is a whole different type of lifestyle. Right? It's a whole different type of lifestyle. And one of the things that you can't measure also is, and I know we're supposed to be talking about money, but I have to talk about this, is the ability and the necessity to slow down. And you don't realize how much you're just running. America can keep you very, very busy. Running here, running there, and feeling like if you're not busy, you're not important, and all this other bullshit nonsense. Okay. Here, you have to slow down. One of the reasons you have to slow down is because they don't have a bunch of preservatives in the food. And so you're going to have to cook food. You can't just buy something pre-made and kind of doctor it up and stuff like that. You have to actually make stuff. So y'all, y'all. All right. So you can have for 2/3 less money, the same or better life, right? For less money, completely different outcome, better culture, less stress,
better food,
better food, more natural food, virtually no lethal racism. Virtually no lethal racism. All right. So step 3 is talking about the real numbers. All right. So we told you we compared Atlanta to Mexico City to Lisbon. Now we're talking about the freedom gap. Okay. So if you are using the toolkit, then you know, and you can download it and follow along with us, then you know, right? You need to find out
your monthly need. What are you going to need?
Right? Monthly need. What else?
Your monthly income.
And then lastly,
the delta, the gap.
What is the difference between what you need monthly in retirement and what you anticipate having? What is that gap? What is that delta?
So if the gap is too big in the US, it may be 0 somewhere else.
Repeat that.
If the gap is too big in the US, it may be 0 somewhere else.
We were going to have $4,166 coming in every month in order to maintain a okay lifestyle in Denver. An okay lifestyle, not a lot of travel on that kind of money,
Oh, no.
right? Not a lot of travel. But instead, we traded that for a better life here in Lisbon, Portugal, for half the cost. And so then when we went back and looked at our numbers, it was like, hey, okay, now we cooking with some Crisco. So if you have a gap between what you need or what you believe you need and what you anticipate coming in, if you change your location, that gap may dissipate. It may go away. It may zero out. All right. And this is the late bloomer trifecta. All right.
I mean, to make it clear, Portugal does not have to be the place
No.
that they are hoping or looking or anything. You know, it's a big world.
It is a whole big world out there. And here's the thing. One of the reasons why everybody's thinking about Lisbon, Portugal is because everybody's thinking about Lisbon, Portugal. Well, the reason why everybody's thinking about Portugal is because everybody's thinking about Portugal. Okay. You can build community where you go.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that makes Lisbon, Portugal so magical is because there's so many Black English-speaking folks here. And we hang and we party and we have fun and there's community and we check in on each other and do stuff together and travel together, et cetera, et cetera. But it wasn't always like that. When our friends first came here, they it was right before COVID when Christina and Aman first came here. There weren't a lot of us here. There were not. Okay. So you have the capability, if it's not, to move to a place and to create the community. Believe me, when we were in Girona, Spain, there wasn't a lot of Black folks, but there were some English speakers that we hooked up with. You still kind of chat with them from time to time,
with them, yeah.
Right? On Facebook and stuff like that, right? So don't think that, if I choose a place that's not on the top 10 list and I'm going to be out there all by myself, but this is the place that I can afford, but I don't want to be out there all by myself, baby. We are everywhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they might not be American. They might be from Britain. They might be from an English speaking place in Africa, but we are everywhere. And I have found that the Africans outside that don't go to America, but that come to some of these other places are not as weird as some of the Africans that go to America and try to, suck up to the white folks. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. Guess who's in the house?
Hey, Dennis.
Guess who's in the house? Dennis is in the house. That's who's in the house. Hey, Dennis, thank you for the super chat. If he's in the house, he is going to be donating and giving to our community. 100% of the donations that come into our Black Utopia go to our scholarship fund for but Beyond the
Beyond the
Bling.
Bling.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's our financial freedom program for late bloomers, just like ourselves. Okay. This is everything that we learned to go from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth is in that program. It comes with monthly group coaching, and I am revising it. Just like we just revised the Ready to Retire toolkit, we are updating the program as well. And everybody who buys in at this price will be grandfathered into the new version. So Dennis says, just saw a news piece about American working well into their 70s.
Mm-hmm.
See? Americans working well into their 70s because they can't afford to retire. Retirees don't have enough to pay bills or maintain their lifestyle. A big factor is healthcare. Yeah. Yeah. The reason why my mom qualifies for Medicare and Medicaid is because all of her savings were wiped out with medical bills. Isn't that an oxymoron? Isn't that crazy? It is crazy, y'all. Crazy. I want everyone who's in the community to send a thank you. Chat in the chat if you're watching from the future. Put it in the comments and thank Dennis for donating to the community because he is so consistent. And I'm going to tell you, how many scholarships have you given out in the past week or so?
I've given out at least 12.
Okay, 12 scholarships funded by you, our community, funded by Utopian. So y'all know that you're the bomb. You know that you're the bomb.
So Jay got back.
So Jay,
I vetted those places I mentioned
and crossed them off the list. Okay, Jay. Okay. Now, okay, Jay, we might have to interview you because I want to hear, like, and I know, this is what I would do, Jay, since you've been to these places. Asia's not on our list right now because my mom's still alive and it's too freaking far away. That's number one. Number two, going live at 2:00 and 3:00 in the morning, we'd have to stop going live if we moved to Asia, right? Because we wouldn't be up, right?
That's too much like work.
Exactly. Exactly. So Asia's not on our list today, but those things notwithstanding, I could live in Asia. I could definitely live in Asia. Ooh, the food. Ooh, the food. Yes, yes, yes. The same with some of the places that we've been to on the continent of Africa, right? It's just not convenient enough, right? For this part of our lives. So that's what I want to know, Jay. We need to like I said, we need to interview you. And the reason why I say that is because what is true today may not be true tomorrow, right? And so, yeah, Western Europe, that seems pretty swanky today. But 10 years from now, South Africa may be more swanky. Uruguay may be more swanky. Medellin may be more swanky, right? Right? Thailand may be more swanky. Because things, they are a changing. So I'm wondering if the things that you listed, if the world politics change, would that change for you? So Allison says that's my monthly budget now here in Dallas. What was it, the 4,000 something budget or the 2,000 something budget? Allison, I can't do heat and humidity, Jay. Which is why I crossed Asia and Central and South America. Portugal is my dream spot, but don't know if I can afford it. You can afford Portugal. You might, as we said, you might not be able to afford Lisbon. Okay. Now, the biggest thing about affording Portugal is the cost of entry. Once you're here and have gotten settled, that's when the costs start coming down. That first year is pretty steep. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Okay. They want you to have so much money in a bank. You've got to have a lease before you even apply. So you're paying rent in two places. That first year is a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. But after that, once you're here, once you're settled, once you know where to shop and all of that stuff, That's when you stop paying that expat tax.
You understand how the game's played.
Right? You're right. And you know where to get the bargains and the
Mhm.
this and the that and how to negotiate for better rent and all of the things. So I hear you about the heat and humidity, Jay. I'm not a heat and humidity person either. It's just that the people were so lovely and the food was so, oh my gosh, in Thailand. That's why it is on the list. And I think that I could adapt. I think I could. I know I could if I had to. Don't get it twisted, right? I'm looking at Portugal and a few other places. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you guys. Portugal is a whole country. All the way from the south in the Algarve, right? Has a whole different vibe than the middle, right? We're talking about the southern wine country, Evora, and all of that whole area down there. And then you come to the center where Lisbon is, and then you start going north to Coimbra and Porto and Braga. Those are all very different vibes. Silver Coast, different vibe. Hell, even Sintra, which is technically still in Lisbon, is a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you're healthy and younger, Sintra's the bomb. It really is. It's gorgeous up there. It is gorgeous. And you don't realize it, but you're really just a quick train ride or Uber ride from the beach. But you don't, it seems like you're high in the mountains somewhere, but you're really just 3 miles, 4 miles from the beach. It's a trip, y'all. It's a trip. So Benita's talking about fly your drone where? So
I look forward to being able to get back out there to fly my drone.
Yeah. The object is not to be double taxed. So here's the deal, y'all. You want to move to a place that either one does not tax income that is not derived from income that you are making in that country, or two, they have a tax treaty with the United States so that you are not double taxed. Okay, that's how you avoid that. So yeah, you're going to have to do some due diligence. You're going to have to do some homework. Portugal is Western Europe, so that is still in the running, right? I'm interested in Setúbal. Okay, Setúbal is cute.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is.
And then across the way, they have that gorgeous beach that's so quiet and stuff. America is a third world country. You guys, we have been sold a bunch of bullshit. Okay, we really have, because I don't know about y'all, because I'm of a certain age, and I know you grew up with this propaganda as well, thinking that America was such a much. But I'm going to tell you, even from the 1970s to today, which a lot of the people watching can remember, the quality of life has gone down tremendously. As a matter of fact, I was going to start this today with this video that Robert Reich does, and he shows how the top 10%, the top 5% of incomes have been taxed over the years. And it starts way up here back in like the 1930s, 1940s, and then starts coming down as far as a percentage of their income to today, where it's at one of the lowest times in all of history. And so we think that these billionaires cannot be taxed, but baby, they can be taxed. And so right now we have the same kind of income inequality. As a matter of fact, the last time I checked, our income inequality, Allison, was worse than the income inequality in South Africa. So Jay's in Michigan. Cost of living is pretty reasonable and much cheaper than Cali. Yeah, absolutely. Cali's out of control. But again, right? Like you get stuff for those taxes. Now, I'm sure they're wasting money, as all governments do. But I know when I moved my dad from Colorado to California, and he stayed with Kaiser on Medicare, Medicaid. First of all, he didn't qualify for Medicaid in Colorado. He qualified for in California, which was good because he had dementia and needed assisted living. And so Medicaid kicks in and starts paying for that. So just like in the United States, it matters where you live. Moving out of the country, you want to look for a place where the cost of living doubles or triples your retirement money, or quadruples if you can swing it, right? There are places like if you want to live in like Da Nang, Vietnam, beautiful, 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 right? Beautiful place. Where you can get rents for like $400 and $500 and $600 per month, right? And you can live on $1,100, $1,200 per month
in high rises with maids and all that
shit.
stuff.
But not butlers, but doormen and pools and all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's
look, right? Because I'm going to tell you, like, I love our apartment here, but it doesn't have an elevator. It's a walk up. We don't have a bathtub. Okay, we live pretty simply here. It's nice. It's updated. All the appliances and all of the stuff and the air conditioning, the heater. I'm not saying we slumming it, but this is not doorman and pools and all of this stuff either. Okay, but it was worth it. It was worth it to give up the doorman, to not have to work another 2 years to be able to afford the doorman. You see what I'm saying? So you have to decide what kind of life you want to live, and if it's worth it to keep working to be able to afford that life, right? Josette, thank you for the super sticker. Again, it goes to our scholarship fund. Everybody in the chat, say thank you to Josette and to Bridget. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget.
And as Bridget says, thank you to Dennis, and also gives to our scholarship fund. And we have one more from Roxanne.
Wow, thank you, Roxanne.
Especially because these are all members for the most part, right? So Roxanne, gratitude to you all. Gratitude to you too. Roxanne, we appreciate all of you. Again, all that money goes to our scholarship fund, 100%. Everybody who buys us a coffee and all of that stuff, those donations as well goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling, our financial freedom program for late bloomers. All right, we're going to keep it moving and then get back to what you guys are talking about. Jay, you are hilarious. Yeah, you are hilarious. All right, so here's the trifecta. Here is the trifecta. Y'all know this, all right? So today, the first thing that you are going to do is you're going to look at your expenses and you're going to cut your expenses. You're going to cut your expenses when?
Mm-hmm.
When?
Now, today.
Today. Now, babies. Now. And then you're going to invest the difference. Whatever you are saving, invest it. If you need to pay off some debt, like credit card debt, pay that off. Okay? Pay it off. You don't want that monkey on your back. Now, that's not a blanket statement, because you might find that when you move to a place that's 2/3 less expensive, that it's easier to pay off your debt after you move. Okay? So let's not be rigid. Let's not be rigid. Let's be creative. But what we're not going to do is take that extra money and create more debt, right? By buying stuff and then putting some stuff on credit card or wasting it. That's what we're not going to do. Okay. What we're not going to do is move to the new place and have that 2/3 savings. And instead of paying off the credit card debt, we go on trips.
Yeah, right. We add more to it.
Right. That's what we're not going to do. All right. So you are going to cut those expenses, invest the difference, and move to close the gap. Okay. You want to close the gap between what you need and what you're bringing in. Now, one way to close the gap is to live on less. That's what Rick and I did. We're like, you know what? Can we, with this amount of money, are we happy having this amount of money extra after we pay our bills? And we looked at each other and said, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
We do it
It's working.
because if you know, we had enough money in our FU fund, we had enough money in our hell yeah fund, that if we wanted to splurge every now and then, the money was there. If there was an emergency, the money was there. So we didn't have to worry about that. All right. We did not have to worry about that. All right. So if you're just now tuning in, download the toolkit. It's brand new from the rooter to the tutor, y'all. Is brand new. All revised. So if you are still working on your money, it's free. It is in the description below, and it is going to help you see clearly what your freedom number is. Okay. It's going to help you see clearly what that gap. And then if you need more help after that, then join Beyond the Bling, or then you can give us a call and do a one-on-one coaching call with us. Okay. But start with the free stuff. Start with the free stuff. I'm saving up for my moving expenses. Yeah. See that's the thing, you guys. All right. And here's the other. I don't want you to just think about the move. We get so caught up in the move. And oh, I got to get rid of this stuff and I got to do this. And what's the visa and the FBI and the apostilles and this and the that and da 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 da. But there is life after the move. There is life after the move. And I want to make sure that you all are thinking about that, right? What is that life going to look like? What are my wants and needs? And how much money is that going to cost? And then if you want to feel really, really super duper comfortable, go ahead and take the number that you researched through the databases and add 10% or so to it. Okay. And that way, you can eliminate any heebie-jeebies you get from not getting that paycheck every month. I love it. I love it. I love our community. Hey, Utopians, you guys are so fabulous. Seriously, you are so fabulous. Okay. I love it. Okay, let's see what else you guys are talking about. Yes, the $4,100 a month is about what it costs in Dallas. And we don't really go anywhere or splurge on anything. See, that's just the basics, right? And here's the thing, for especially for those of you who live in top tier cities, right? The 1 and 2 level cities. And that just goes on. 1 and 2 is not like this. It's more about cost of living, how much it costs to live there, and the amount of people who live there. Okay. You could probably live someplace else for what you would pay for rent in those cities. Okay. You could probably live totally someplace else for what you would pay just for rent in a lot of these places, especially if you're talking about Chicago, Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, DC, LA, San Diego, Bay Area, of course. Probably maybe even Tacoma and Portland, right? So, and then Dallas, Austin, right? You know the places that we're talking about. So for what you would pay for rent in these places, you could probably live all in a lot of places,
Yeah.
around the planet. Seriously. When we were in Querétaro, I told you, we fed 40 people. We fed 40 people with tacos and rice and beans and guacamole and salsa, all the fixings, for like $135 to $140. And there was so much food left over that it took us days and days and days to finish that food. Okay. Two people can't go out in LA and barely get a good meal for $130. When I went to Popeyes and paid $25 for a wing a meal from Popeyes, and it sucked. It was horrible. It was horrible. Okay. Why is black mold in the USA toxic, but it's not toxic and is a way of life in Portugal? I don't know if there's different types of mold, but um, but here I don't think it's good for you here either, CK. I just think that maybe it's because of the way the buildings are built. You can see it more quickly, and they seem to deal with it right away here, as opposed to it growing behind places and stuff like that. I think maybe that's the thing. There's no insulation in these walls, at least these older buildings. So it's not going to grow in there. It's not going to grow within the insulation. And that's a lot of times where it grows in the United States. And so then you don't see
It's
it.
out of sight.
It's
Right.
out of sight. Exactly. So I think that's the thing. Yes, yes, yes. Do a lot of research online. Absolutely. And so that's the place to start, right? But that's not the place to end, folks. That's not the place to end. All right. Thank you to yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Thank you all for donating. We appreciate you. One more year equals maximal margin future. Okay, CK,
right.
because you've been one more year in it for a minute now.
Mhm.
Well, that's like you just been hitting that snooze button, hitting that snooze button, hitting that snooze button. It's time to wake up and get out of bed. I know they be trying to dangle that money in front of you. Brilliant black women. They don't want to lose because they know they're gonna have to replace you with like 2 or 3 or 4 people. That's why they know what they're doing,
They know.
right? My husband loves his drone. Yeah. So when you guys get here,
Well, I look forward you guys getting here to hang
Yeah.
out and we could do that.
he and John can go
Definitely.
flying.
Yes.
I like to fly too, though. So I'm gonna have to show you guys my drone footage. So when we went glamping in Mexico, Rick let me fly the drone over the lake.
Did I let you?
Well,
Your drone too.
Well, we bought the drone, but it's his drone, and I don't know what I'm doing, so he had to show me. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really fun. And I was flying over the lake, and in the middle of the lake is an island. And there was a house on the island with a boat dock and all this stuff. Don't let people tell you that people who live in Mexico are poor. Okay, that's bullshit. Oh, they need our money. They got money. They don't need your money. They got money.
Mhm.
There was a boat slip out there and a big old house on an island in the middle of this lake, and I wanted to fly out and I wanted to see it. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see it too.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully you guys are hitting that like button as we wrap up here. All right. I agree. We've been conned to think America is so much better than other countries. Right? It only takes traveling abroad to realize what a big lie that is. You're absolutely right, Jay. You're absolutely right. I'm telling you. I am telling you. What I'm not telling you is that every place outside the United States is better than the United States. No. Right? So, okay. So she says she didn't mind visiting there, but living there is a whole different thing. Yeah, I can see that. There's places that I would never want to live, but definitely want to visit again. Right? My husband is looking forward to looking for the Knights of Templar. I don't know what the Knights of Templar is because I don't know. I'm looking forward to taking advantage of medical care in other countries. Yes, I just filled a prescription that was
Ouch. For 3 months flying.
Okay. So y'all know that Rick had knee surgery, right? And so at nighttime it was really bothering him. And so the doctor prescribed something new for you, right? Some kind of pain medicine. And so I went to pick it up from the pharmacy for him. I had to pay. How many did you get? 20 pills. I think it was 20 pills.
It's Valium.
Yeah, it's Valium.
The equivalency of Valium.
So I had to pay a whole €1.68 for 20 pills. €1.68, which is about the equivalent of about $2.08. $2,000 for a 3-month supply. And she has great insurance. That is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That is insane. And we have got to stop treating this as if it is normal. It is not. This is not normal. Because even when we did not have insurance here, like, okay, so like the medicine that I am taking, I take hormone replacement therapy, y'all. I be getting them hot flashes. I need my fan. All right. So when I went down to get my prescription, I didn't have my paper prescription with me. And she said, but I can just give it to you anyway. Well, not give, but sell it to you anyway. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's number one. They didn't need a prescription, but it was going to be more expensive. One, because my insurance stuff wasn't in there, and the national number, our SNS, national healthcare number, could not be attached. So the difference in price, even without insurance, I want to say it was going to be like 35 euro. And then this is not something that is absolutely needed for your well-being, right? So 35 euro without insurance. With insurance, I want to say it was like 14 to 15 bucks. $2,000 makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And they're just making stuff up, because I bet you dollars to donuts, I don't know whatever it is, but like, I know, back in the day, it was like $300 a month for our youngest's asthma medicine. And that same medicine here is a couple of bucks. It's like 30 bucks or so without insurance. Okay. And without insurance in America, they wanted to charge, or if we were trying to get it before the 30 days were up or something like that, they wanted to charge us hundreds. And this was back in the day. This was back before, way before COVID. I swear to you, those pharma companies in the United States are making, they're just making stuff up, just throwing, let's see what price we can charge. It's ridiculous. And it's the same stuff that we have over here. Now, sometimes the brands are different, but sometimes the manufacturers are the same damn manufacturers, aren't they? Yeah. They may call it something different over here, but it's the same damn manufacturer. So I want to know what the hell, where's that money going, you guys? Where is that money going? So Tashika is looking forward to the meetup. Tashika is looking forward. Who's coming to the meetup? Who's coming to the meetup, y'all? We are going to have so much fun. Okay. I'm going to put a link in the description below, because I know our helpers are not here today. Greta, we tell Greta and Action VJ we miss them. So I just put the link up for the meetup in the description below. We still have tickets available, and we're still under the early bird pricing, which is going to go up at the end of the month. So, yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going up to the Silver Coast on Tuesday. We're going to visit Nazare and Obidosh and the Buddha Garden. And on Monday, we're going to have a 4-course chef tasting menu. And then we're going to have a sommelier. Is that what you call them? Sommelier there to do wine pairings and explain the wine and all of this stuff with us. All right. And then there's all of these ancillary things that we're doing with each other on other days. The folks have been blowing up the WhatsApp group. There's like 50 to 70 people in the WhatsApp group, and they're all in there helping each other out and planning other outings and stuff with each other, making friends and having a good old time. You guys, this is where this is how you build community. This is how you build community. Everyone who's coming to the meetup is not necessarily moving to Portugal. Okay. Some people live in other places. And so that gives you the opportunity to have friends all over the planet. And if you choose some other place besides Portugal, you might just have met them at the meetup. Right. And now when you land, you've got a softer landing because you know some folks there. They can help you out. They can help you out, tell you where to find the deals and all the stuff. A-Lee says, plus I focused on the time difference with what I'm doing now. If I live in Japan, yeah, I need to stay up until midnight in order to make money. Yeah. You know, that's one of the reasons why Asia can't be on the list. Like the whole time we were in Thailand, you guys, I don't know if you remember, we did not go live. We pre-recorded a bunch of interviews and stuff that we had done. And that's what we put out while we were in Thailand. And it was nerve-wracking because we were trying to be in the chat with you guys and stuff like that. But, you know, staying up until the middle of the night, y'all.
That's just rough.
Y'all. Okay, that's kind of the same reason why I'm leaning towards Portugal, because of my family, right, in the Georgia area, especially my dad. Exactly. So yeah, you know, we can't always choose we can't choose the places in a vacuum, right? It can't necessarily just be about you and what you want. Some of us do have to consider what other people want.
Right.
Now, I would not consider what other people want at the expense of my well-being. That's what I'm not going to do. Okay. That's what I'm not going to do. So I would have to find a place that meets all of the needs, where I'm in a place that I feel like I can reach my parents, well, now just my mom, unfortunately, in a decent amount of time, and that make both of us happy. Because one without the other is not going to work. That's for damn sure, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, we saw that one. We saw that one. All right, you guys, we are going to wrap this up. So here's the deal. How do you triple your money overnight? You do geo arbitrage. That's what you do, all right? You find the place that is 2/3 less than where you were planning to retire, and you have just tripled your retirement money overnight. The day that Rick and I made the decision to move to Lisbon, we doubled our retirement money. And then had we moved from LA, we would have tripled our money. Okay. And what was 2 to 3 to 4 years worth of living expenses that we had saved up, right, became 10 years. And again, you can figure it out in 10 years. You can figure out how to get that next 10 years worth of money within 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have to be enslaved to these jobs, y'all. Okay. We do not. Find a place that makes you happy, that costs the amount of money, so that your gap has gone from $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month gap to $0 a month gap. Okay. Download the Ready to Retire Toolkit. It's in the description below. I'm also going to put it in the chat right now. Let me copy this and I'm pasting it. Boom. There it is. Okay. Go to page 7 in the Ready to Retire Toolkit. Okay. Calculate your freedom number in another country. All right. Don't just calculate the gap. Close it. Close it. And you can close it with geo arbitrage. Okay. Become a channel member.
Join us.
Yes. Join us and have community. Okay. As I said, we get together every single Sunday, an hour before we go live. So that means at 2:30 Eastern time, all channel members are invited to come behind the scenes in a private Zoom call with Rick and myself. Ask us questions about your money, ask us questions about moving abroad, ask us questions about the political bullshit that's going on, whatever, or let's just chitty chat, right? So that's what we do. And then if you're at the Legends level, come on air with us and you can interview us. We can talk about what's going on the day, talk about travel. We can talk about life abroad. We can talk a money talk. Okay. For those who are coming to the meetup, we just had our last info session today. I did record it. Okay, so if you're interested in coming to the meetup, but you want some more information and you want to watch the info session, I can send you a link to the info session. Just send us an email. You can find our email on our website, ourblackutopia.com. That's ourblackutopia.com. And you can find our email address. Send us an email. Tell them, oh, yeah, I'm interested in the meetup and you want a copy of the video, and we'll send you a copy. Okay. If you need a scholarship to Beyond the Bling, put scholarship in the subject line.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to give us a long diatribe about why you need a scholarship and you lost your job. No, baby, you're utopian. We know you got scruples. We know you're honest. You don't have to give us a diatribe. Just tell us you need it. If you ask, we know you need it. And if we have it, we'll give it. If we don't have it, we'll put you on our waiting list. Okay. And then as more donations come in, we go to the bottom of the list and we just start offering. That's what we do. We also have the Move Abroad Toolkit, which is in the description below. Okay. Moving abroad is different than moving from state to state or city to city. And so we'll get you from start to finish with a move abroad plan, from budgeting to picking the location and everything in between, all the questions you need to be asking yourself, how you can put your timeline together, and everything else is in the toolkit. That is in the description below. And I think that's it. I think we did it. We got a lot of donations, you guys, this week. We thank you guys so much.
Yes. Thank you.
We appreciate. So I said, I'll just repeat that. Just send us an email. You can find our email on our website.
Scholarship in the subject line.
Scholarship in the subject line. And if we have it, we'll just give it to you. If we don't, then we'll put you on the list. If you don't hear from us in 48 hours, assume that you're on the list and we'll just start releasing them. Okay. So every week we release a few as we get the donations in. Okay. I'm just making sure we didn't miss anything. You guys all talking. All right. We're going to see you on Thursday. Yes, it's unsettling about the abuse in the Amazon warehouse. It's in my city. Ooh, gosh. See, y'all, it's time to go. It is time to go. That stuff is not normal. And we cannot let it become normal within our own spirits and psyches. Okay. Because it will only get worse if we allow that. Next thing we know, we'll turn around and we'll be in the Hunger Games. I'm not about that life. I am not about that life. Okay. All right, y'all.
Scroll down all the way.
There was something that you.
I thought I saw. You moved it.
I didn't move it.
June, right there.
Oh, there she is. Great show as usual, Phil. Oh, thank you, June. Oh, let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys. Our merch store is about to open. Our merch store is about to open. You guys have been asking us for merch. So June of JRS Graphics is helping us put together our merch store. And so look for it this week. There will be a t-shirt for the meetup. We always have a special t-shirt for the meetup that is only available to the people who are coming to the meetup. Okay. So that will be available as well to purchase. And again, I'm going to be speaking at the Job Liberation Summit. Okay. It's all about how to create income streams. If money is the thing, if creating income streams is the thing that can close that gap and get you out of Dodge, and you are a Black woman, the Job Liberation Summit is in the description below. Yours truly is one of the featured speakers. Okay. And was that just last week that we had Dr. Kimani on?
Yes.
Dr. Kimani. Yeah, we had Dr. Kimani on last Sunday. So check out that video. Check out the video that we did on Thursday about all of the changes that are happening with our travel. And with that, we will see you this Thursday with our Utopian Legends. No Legends. That was last week. Okay. So we'll see you on Thursday. Love y'all. Bye.